Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SA Accounting Academy. Here's a short clip on one of our previous webinars. I hope that you really do enjoy it.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to our webinar this morning. We are talking about POPIA and advising your clients. So I'm talking about in your personal capacity, in your professional capacity as a tax practitioner or an accountant or an auditor or an independent reviewer, just in your capacity as a practitioner. So that's what our focus is going to be on. Um, as you can see on the screen, my name is Letty Janse van Vuren, and I will be with you for the next 90 minutes or so. I've also managed to organize a guest presenter for us for today. Found a website on the attorney's side that specialize in commercial compliance. And they've got a very, very nice assessment, which is completely for free. And you can use it for both yourself and for your clients. All right, so I will be making marks on the slides. The slides you were already able to download from the shared files on your right-hand side. If you don't download them now, you will also be able to get them afterwards. So it's not a train smash at this stage. So let's just quickly look at me. That's a little bit of marketing blurb about myself. I do recognize a lot of the names on the webinar today, but there's also quite a couple of new people that have not attended some of my webinars before. So just so that you know, I do tend to say the wrong thing or, just make a fool of myself sometimes because my style is very relaxed. So I'm hoping that that's going to help us today in getting the message across. But that's what I do. I'm basically a professional trainer and a webinar host. This is not professional trainer as in sweatpants and stuff. I'm talking about training auditors and accountants in our field. Right. But I'm also responsible for the MCLU, which is the monthly compliance and legislation updates. And previously, I was at SAICA. Before that, I did training for a whole number of years. And then I also did my articles, obviously, just before that. What I keep myself busy with when I'm not doing webinars is I do all sorts of technical advice, practical assistance, anything. Basically, anything that anybody needs help with. Letty, how does this affect us? Or help Urbers coming for a visit. Or Psycho wants us to do this and this and this. Okay, so that is what I do for a living. So let's go and have a look at what's on the agenda for today. I'm going to start off by looking at a quick recap on the basics, okay? So those of you that have attended my POPIA webinars before, what I did is I basically summarized the basics into one document, 10-page document, I think, and I'll show that to you as we go on. But we will be focusing briefly on lawful processing of information, the information officer, and then just what are some of the latest updates from the information regulator. So news from their side. Okay. We always need to know about that. Then we should always know about consequences of non-compliance, what can happen to us, what can happen to your clients if they do not comply. Um, how can you assist your clients with their POPIA compliance? And that's where the majority of today will be focused on, assisting your clients. But it's a bit of a double-edged sword because you can't assist your clients if you don't know anything about POPIA compliance. So you also have to be POPIA compliant. So whatever process you follow, it's a question of you adopting and adjusting that process to suit your clients, right? But it's exactly the same requirements that they must meet. Whatever you must comply with, they must comply with. And then good news, we've got our free POPIA compliance checklist, and that should make your life a lot easier, all right? I've put it into a checklist format for you with yeses and nos. And because we know we've got to document everything, this will be your document, okay? And then lastly, we'll have our guest presentation regarding a SMART assessment, which is also another free tool. Right. So that's what's on the agenda. Before we start with the actual content, I just want to give you these three abbreviations that I refer to during the webinar. It's on all my slides, so it's just a question of me being used to them. And I then just type out PIA instead of the Promotion of Access to Information Act. Now remember, POPIA is what we've got to have a POPIA manual for. So POPIA manual, very important. We're talking about a section 14 or a section 51 manual. Section 14 is for public bodies. Section 51 is for private bodies. Right. Our next abbreviation is the InfoReg or InfoReg or IR, and that is for the information regulator. They are the ones who are responsible for monitoring compliance with both POPIA and POPIA. All right. People say a lot of different things. They say POPIA, POPIA. Some of them say POPI Act. When you speak to the information regulator, they actually prefer people to talk about POPIA. All right. They want to coin the phrase so that people don't talk about the POPI Act. POPIA is the act. So POPIA stands for the Protection of Personal Information Act of 2013, right? And because it came into effect in 2013 already, the act does apply retrospectively. So you should be able to comply with it retrospectively, and you should be able to prove your compliance with it from the 1st of July last year. Right, we'll go through that. That's the gap period that the information regulator gave us. But let me take you through a quick introduction, just to confirm some of the main principles. I'm going to start off, and this picture just explains it so nicely. What is personal information? And it's all of this stuff. It's your age, your marital status, your name, your net worth, your email. Are you a car owner? How many times do you click? Where do you click? What do you download? What do you purchase? Your astrological sign. How many kids in the house? Homeowner. Are you a homeowner or not? What political party do you support? What religion are you? What sexual orientation are you? All of that forms part and parcel of personal information. So all of that is part of POPIA. Now remember, POPIA and POPIA are really two sides to the same coin. On the one side of the coin, we've got POPIA, which is promotion of access to information. So this is when you want to access somebody's information. You will do so in terms of POPIA. That's why there's manuals and there's processes for people to submit requests. Okay. Then in terms of POPIA, that's protection of personal information. This is just so that if somebody phones me and they've got a beef with me about, I don't know, some webinar that I attended that they really don't like and they want to come and pour brake fluid over my car. That's a bit harsh, but okay, it's just hypothetically touch wood. Okay. So it just stops them from being able to phone SAAA and saying, what is Letty's home address? All right. So that's what the protection of personal information is all about. And basically, all of this, you don't want all of this floating around. Personal information is also how people nowadays perpetrate fraud. I mean, we all have those emails and SMSs, right? Congratulations, Mrs. Janse van Vieren. You've won 10 million US dollars in the OMO competition. I don't even use OMO, all right? I'm a Sunlight fan. So I don't use OMO. So how could I have won? I never entered any competition. And what do they say? Please click on the link. You click on the link and it looks very legit. There's a document that has, I don't know, some logo at the top and everything looks very legitimate. And it says, please complete and email this back to us. Fill in for us your name, your ID number, your cell phone number, your banking details, just to confirm so that we can then start processing your claim. We all know that those are phishing scams, but there are still people out there that are falling for that. All right. So personal information is worth its weight in gold, because with somebody's personal information, you can literally go, if I have somebody's name, banking details, um, ID number, and whatnot, I can actually go and open up a Vodacom account or an MTN account, a contract. We've had that happen to my husband. He actually applied for a contract phone and then he changed his mind and said, oh, no, I'm going to stay on the pay-as-you-go system, on the prepaid system. And what Vodacom was supposed to do is they were supposed to destroy the information after a while. They did not do that in terms of their processes. They had somebody that perpetrated fraud by taking this information, taking this application of my husband, complete with proof of banking details, copy of his ID and everything included in there, and proceeded to the next thing we saw debit orders coming off his account for his Vodacom account. He was like, but I don't have a contract.
I hope that you enjoyed that video. For more of our webinar videos, go to www.accountingacademy.co.za. Thank you and have a lovely day.